Okay, says we're live. So hello, welcome. Happy Monday. Happy 11. Um yesterday. Well, I say that, but I have gotten a couple of emails that I was hoping I wouldn't get. I think I have mentioned sort of like here and there that I had a project that I wanted to put out on query. I have done so and I have gotten a couple of rejections. Never feels good. Some of them, most of them are just kind of like standard. Um, so not a whole lot of helpful feedback just yet, but it's okay. We're going through the process. So yay. And at least I know, I'm not hanging in limbo. They have given me an answer, which is a plus in its own way, right? Um, so, but we're going to try and set that aside and get some work done today. There was something that in my half waking hours this morning, I was like, oh, this would be a good thing to work on for camp, like a new story idea. And I was like, I'm going to remember this. I don't. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it will come back to me, but I kind of think it's gone. But anyway, so we're going to be working on maybe some editing, and maybe some drafting if I can figure out brainstorming, if I can figure out what that idea is. Does anyone know if camp is officially happening? You've heard nothing. I don't know. There are some things that are kind of built to it at this point, so I feel like it's kind of like on automated, like they're not going to like they're not really gonna delete the automated like show up for camp stuff, but in terms of like a new flair or anything like that, I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking at the Nano site now, and it does say camp starts in okay, so it says Camp NaNoWriMo starts in 30 days, but it doesn't. It starts in like 20. So I don't know. Say Camp NaNoWriMo challenge invitation banner will appear on your dashboard 1 month before the challenge begins. So does anybody know, if you have checked your dashboard, do you see the banner? I do not have the banner on mine. I guess I could share so that y'all know what I'm looking at. This one. Yeah, so I don't have, this is my dashboard, so I just clicked on the NaNoWriMo. So I do not have a challenge invitation banner. Because that's what I was looking at under Writers Resources, Camp Nano. And this is where it says the Camp Nano challenge invitation banner will appear on your dashboard 1 month before the challenge begins, March 1st or June 1st. You can begin tracking your writing on April 1st or July 1st. So I don't know. Maybe the forum will have an answer. Has anybody explored some of the forums lately to see if okay, message from the NaNoWriMo Board of Directors, February to March, update to the community. Let's see. 2 new members for the board. Core goals, necessary components to recruit the next permanent executive director. No mention of camp at all. Let's see. Of implementing moderation and community management practices, putting controls in place, making programs and resources more accessible, including and serving community members outside the U.S., critical look at current programs, core offerings and course corrections. As a result, plan is to close all current board threads. Again, nothing about camp. So I do not know. Those are all just new topics. So I do not know. That is the answer. So camp officially may or may not be happening. We can sort of like create our own little camp here on authortube, which I think is what several people have done anyway in the past couple of years, because not everybody likes the user interface for the NRMO website. So, and it's more for like just tracking the words. It's not necessarily like, putting up daily tasks or missions for your cabin or anything. So, yeah. I don't know. The answer is we don't know, CB. So, but anyway, so I can't remember if I started at the top of the chat or not. Diamond said, hey, everyone, happy Monday and good afternoon. Today, you're going to be working on your first chapter of your new story. You're super excited to write it. Yes, because now you have all of your setting and your characters and you are ready to go. CB said, hello. Hello. Paget says, hi. Hello. Welcome. That is awesome. Paget says to Diamond, in terms of ready to write again, new story. Paget says, you're doing edits based on beta reports for book 4. This is where CB asked the question that got me distracted. Yeah, it's crazy that April is half a month away. Yes. Yeah, slightly more than half, but yes. Yeah, the forums are all sort of pinned closed. Yeah. You just looked it up. Okay. So we won't have to go into it again. But yeah. Rachel is sneaking into the back. Excellent. Welcome. Yes. Maybe we can make our own camp for the time being. Yeah. I think that's essentially what we're going to be doing, is just sort of hanging out, writing, getting as much done as we can. So, hello. I believe they planned on limiting forums anyway since the debacle last year. Yeah. Yes. But the thing is, CB has noticed that there's been no announcements as to whether or not camp is actually going forward this year as like an organized thing. There's no banners. Like I expected that to be kind of automated, but apparently it's not. So don't know. CB's going to go see Hamilton in 16 days. Yeah, they're trying to get those safety promises handled. Yeah, which is appropriate before they do another official event. Yeah. So if they don't have the safety measures in place, then it's kind of hard for them to like excuse like why are they having another official event. One of your region's municipal leaders has resigned because of the levels of expectation. Yeah. Well, it's a lot, and on a volunteer basis, like it's definitely, it was already a good bit in terms of like arranging meetups that was sort of central location to where a lot of people were, especially if you had a bigger like physical region, or when you have a lack of public transportation, that kind of thing. It's very difficult to arrange meetups for everybody. So like the region that I am in covers 3 counties, and so no matter where you put the meeting, somebody's always going to be like an hour out. So yeah. So when you try to make a project, they do not have anything to connect it to past 2023. Yeah. I think they probably have decided to just focus on getting the safety issues corrected before they do anything official again. I think you are correct in this. Yeah. So yes, you would love to get a bunch of folks together and to kind of hold each other accountable. Yes. Maybe this is a great sign that we need to start our own camp. I mean, we can. We absolutely can. Whether or not we want it to be authortube or just sort of like a specific group of streamers that you want to follow, whatever it is. But yeah, that would be fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and, speaking of accountability, sort of get the ball rolling. Today is Monday. So at the end of today's session, we're going to do a 5-minute desk tidy / clean because, well, my writing desk is not terrible, but the extended, the secondary desktop that is over to my left is getting a little chaotic. So Patchett says, I got a mic for the laptop and I haven't opened it because I'm afraid of streaming, but you know, that's silly. Okay, you're going to make a camp. Yes, you should. Absolutely. And also, you should absolutely try to stream because it's fun. It's a little scary at first. There's lots of buttons. But if you are a serial button presser, that can be also kind of fun. So, you know. So, it wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't an accessible region anyway. They didn't exactly advertise themselves very well, but that was probably always going to be the case anyway. Yeah, my region is very transient because of the college. So you have a lot of college kids who come in, they're like, yeah, we're going to write a book. And then like finals smacks them in the face. And midterms and papers, and like November is a terrible, terrible time in terms of academia to have a like focus all month long on writing a creative project. It can be done, but it's just like there's a lot to handle. That was in fact that was the first time I heard about NaNoWriMo was one of my besties mentioned it to me. I think it was like maybe in September. I was like, hey, I heard about this. This is starting next month. Do you want to try? I was like, oh yeah, this sounds great. I got like 3 days into November and then like school life just absolutely rocked my world. And that went down the drain. So for several years after I initially heard about NaNoWriMo, I did not participate because I was just in college. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the document that I'm going to be editing first, because I feel like I might get a little bit more done with the editing today. Again, I'm still like in the back of my brain, I'm trying to recall that fantastic idea, whatever it was, that I thought of when I was half awake this morning. So if I make a like surprised Pikachu face and then like all of a sudden start typing like a gremlin, you will know that I have remembered whatever the idea was. So, yeah, it's April as well. April and November are terrible months in terms of schoolwork. because April is when state testing is done, as well as spring break. State and national testing. The milestones, the whatevers, all the standardized testing, the big ones are usually done in April. So, fun times. So you get the lead up to finals, so you get the last of your papers due, and then final studies and all that kind of fun stuff in November, and then you have state testing in April. And so the only one that you really have free is July, and you may be vacationing then. And then also here in the South, you go back to school. Like terrible. Anyway. Okay. Maybe October would be better, at least for Americans and students. You're guessing international students have fall break of some kind in November too. Maybe not, don't know. Yeah, I'm not real sure. And it's like, I know that there are some schools where like graduation is done in the springtime rather than like early springtime rather than end of spring / beginning of summer. And so like, I don't know if everything fits. And there's never going to be a time where it's perfect for everybody. Yes, surprise Pikachu face. That's why some people do unofficial nanos in January and June. Yep. It just says it feels like March and October would be cool. Although crap, sometimes spring breaks and Easter breaks, etc., are in March as well. Yes. Yeah. So, and that's the weird thing about spring break. So when you were in like elementary through high school, spring break is in April. You get to college, spring break is in March. It's like, why shift it? I don't know. But yeah, Cool Gamer says hello, welcome. Diane is here. Hello all, just hanging out, trying to figure out what you want to do with the day. Excellent. I suggest either writing or art. Something creative. Paget says that makes sense to CB. Paget says, I hope you're feeling good to Diane. Diane is excited to see Paget. CB says, no, we don't have any breaks in November. Gotcha. Diane says, task number 1, need a shower. Yes. All right, speaking of our shower that is being redone, it sounds like it's going to last the reconstruction and the tiling throughout this week. Like they may be done by Friday, but also maybe not. So, but they're at the point where they are waterproofing the joints today. So, and then they may get started on tiling the shower floor today, maybe. Anyway, today we have the bat. Ooh, Paget says, I've always wanted to make stickers, though now okay. Oh, so this is a continuation of, by camp, I mean, heck, hella sprints, and maybe you'll send out some stickers. You've always wanted to make stickers, though now you're just doing what Courtney does. In terms of, like, in terms of sticker sheets or just like die cut, I'm not sure what Courtney does, so you may have to enlighten me. I would love, that's one of the things I want to do is, once I save up enough again, I would like to buy a couple things technology wise, iPad, pencil, and like either a Cricut or some variant of something like a Cricut. But yes. Diamond says, thank you, Paget. Yeah, if you have kiddos, it changes based on Easter too. Yeah, true. CB's excited about the bat. Yes. Courtney does. Oh, right, right, right. If you write X amount of words this year, she'll send you out a sticker. Yes. Can't remember the number, but it's large. I think I remember that now that you say that. Yes. And I don't remember if it was like 100K or if it was like 500,000 or I don't remember. But yeah, I know what you mean now because I remember seeing those stickers and going, oh, cool. Monique is here. Hello. Hello, hello. You were worried that you would get here late? It's fine. No matter what time you want to come in, it's fine. Monique says, just finished lunch. Yay. And you also want to get started on a new novel project. Fantastic. Paget says, I'm in the Facebook group. I should know. I also want to cry cut. You've researched and added to the cart and ultimately X'd out of it so many times. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, I keep hearing now more people comparing the different printers and cutters, and it seems like Cricut is no longer necessarily king. So I don't know. You sent my ex's vampire over to an editor. Yay! That's exciting. Paget also is excited for you. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so today we have the bat. And the bat's main message is that a rebirth is assured. So here is our bat. After something has run its course and died or been released, finished, surrendered, completed, or ended, there is a promise of a new beginning. Rebirth is assured just as night gives way to dawn and the bat emerges from the darkness of a womb-like cave. But the bat has come to remind you that this rebirth is a miraculous one, for the very best elements of what you had to give up in the death of the old are still present in this new amazing life that is forming now. This is the miracle and magic of rebirth in every aspect of your life, including the rebirth of faith in your ability to establish new and healthy relationships. The bat reminds you that at present you are in unknown territory and may feel as if you are lost. However, you are being called to trust that your intuition will be a reliable guide as you give birth to something new and unfamiliar. The bat has listened in on the darkness of night and has heard all your hopes and dreams, your fears and worries, and assures you that this new version of your dream, this move from darkness into light, from lost to found, and death to rebirth, comes to fruition with love at its core. The bat asks you to trust that what seems to have died is actually shape-shifting into something even more meaningful and wondrous than before. If you feel you are in the dark, know that come morning, all will be revealed and things will be in a new form that is right for you. So there it is. There's that. But that is appropriate for several of you who mentioned that you were starting new projects. The rebirth of something new. Finishing off with the old and in with the new. Let's see. By the time you commit, it'll be like a shell art and probably Cricut is so over, right? Look at the bat. Yes. Yes, yes. The bat reminds you of Asterion from Baldur's Gate and your current new character there, an emotastic edgelord named Jaeger. Paget says, I saw a bat in real life for the first time circa 2015 and was like, that's straight up Dracula. It was hanging upside down like that, and the sun was shining through its wings, and it looked funky. Their wings do look very funky because you can see the veining in them. Baby bats eating bananas is adorable, but otherwise abject fear for me. We have bats in the neighborhood, which is great because I want them to eat all of the mosquitoes. But we did have a situation, and I think I talked about this on stream, where we had a baby bat at the base of our house, and I was like, oh, it's cute. Where'd it come from? And then like a month later, we noticed that there were bats trying to roost in the slats of one of the vent openings to the attic space. And luckily there was chicken wire behind those slats, but when we finally got around to calling somebody to be like, "Hey, can you, like, check and see if they're, like, making a home for themselves in the attic? And if so, can you, usher them out?" Because since they are pollinators, they are protected. But, we had entered, um, breeding season, and so, the animal, people that we talked to were like, "Yeah, we can't touch this for, like, another 2 months, because they are protected." So, luckily on the off season, I just wound up terrified up on a ladder, screwing in some, additional wire mesh on top of the slats, and they have not come back to roost since then. But yeah. So, I've seen bats in real life, but, um, I can honestly say I do not want them in my house. Um, this card was how you felt yesterday on Spring Forward Day, the second hardest morning of the year for you. It's dark times, but today does feel better. Maybe the bat is right. Yes. Your cousin was at a drive-through years ago, and a bird flew in the window, and the cashier freaked out and waved her arms and was like, "It's a bat! It's a bat!" Well, it is very scary when something that is flying flies into a building. Because we had a bird that tried to nest in a wreath that we hung up on our door, and it was making itself a nice little nest in the wreath. And then we opened the door, and it flew into the house. And then we were there for like an hour trying to get it to go out the door again. um, yeah. So now no one from the fam can say the word bat without someone hollering it a bat. Rachel says, we found a mama and her babies on the front lawn, had to pick her up and place her up in the tree so that when she was ready, she could take off again. She had gotten too low and had 2 babies on her. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. In the workers' defense, the bird suddenly flying indoors is terrifying for all involved. Yes, exactly. Yes, they are. They're very, very cool. I don't want them living in my house with me. That's all. They can have their own house out in the woods. So, all right, let's go ahead and do a sprint. We're going to start with a 25-minute sprint. Make sure I've got my volumes and things up to the correct. So close. Very, very close. Okay. I think I have gotten it down to the correct time. All right. So, first sprint, 25 minutes. 1, save your document if you've already been working. If not, now's a great time to pull whatever document you're going to work on up. 2, make sure you take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How'd we do? All right. Let's see how much I edited. 12:07. Okay, I can move one of the stickies. You can see that my blue section has slowly gotten a lot smaller. So I think we are going to make I think we are going to make it by the end of the quarter, or by the end of the quarter, by the end of the month. I think we're going to make all the blue stickies. The other stickies, maybe not so much, but the blue stickies, I think we will get. So let's save my document. All right, let's see. CB providing us with a couple of interesting facts about bats. Monique said, I'm technically going to work on two projects, your modern Pride and Prejudice, and the other is your modern Emma. It's that meme of having something your mom would be okay with reading. Yeah. Yeah, there are some stories that I don't think I would like my mother. Diane says, I think I will read some Sophie Kinsella for inspiration. I've liked a good number of her books. I think I remember especially the I've Got Your Number one, if I'm remembering the correct story. Female main character is like I want to say a wedding planner, some type of planner, like always on the go. And so manages to pick up the male main character's phone when she needs a phone and just is using it to solve a crisis. And then he's like, hey, I need my phone back. And so they start texting each other, and that's how their relationship starts. I think that's the correct book. So, in Monique's version of Emma is in college and has to deal with anxiety. Diamond says, I've gotten 200 words so far because you're writing and editing at the same time while also reading your story to see how it sounds. Yes. Which is always, it's probably much cleaner than my dress. So, CB says, just about done with dinner. Rachel has had interruption number 1287, and you have nothing to report in terms of getting stuff done. Diane says, I need my stickies. Yeah, that's, I'm going to leave my Q2 stickies to be made until like maybe the 25th, the week of the 25th, something in there. I mean, I could leave it to Easter to do, but we'll see. So Rachel has decided to eat lunch as a way to sort of reset. Yes. Diane is reading Surprise Me by Sophie Kinsella. Have I read that one? Maybe. Let's see. What does it say? After 10 years together, Sylvie and Dan have comfortable home, fulfilling jobs, and beautiful twin girls, and they communicate so seamlessly they finish each other's sentences. They have a happy marriage and believe they know everything there is to know about each other until it's casually mentioned to them that they could be together for another 68 years, and the panic sets in. They decide to bring surprises into their marriage to keep it fresh and fun, but in their pursuit of Project Surprise Me, from unexpected gifts to restaurant dates to sexy photo shoots, mishaps arise with disastrous and comical results. Gradually, surprises turn to shocking truths, and when a scandal from the past is uncovered, they begin to wonder if they ever really knew each other at all. So that's Surprise Me. Sounds fun. Kinsella is very good about weaving comedy into her stories. I think Sophie Kinsella and Jennifer Cruzy, I feel like, are both very good at writing humor into their stories, as well as the romance aspect of things. And then Shelley Lawrenston has a different brand of humor. It's more of like wacky situation. I don't even know. I mean, both of them have wacky situations. So just different brand of humor for Lawrenston. She's the one who writes the Honey Badger series. If you have never run across Shelley Lawrenston, if you are a fan of shapeshifters and that kind of stuff, I recommend that as a fun series. Lunch sounds like a good idea. Yes. CB's dinner was great. Excellent. In terms of Monique's Emma concept, you're leaning in on the burned out gifted kid concept that you know all too well. Yes. It's an older one. Oldie but goodie. Always a good choice. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next sprint. I'm going to switch us over to a 30-minute. And present, share screen. Make big. Okay. Sorry. So before we get to that, second sprint is your self-promo sprint. So if you have something you want to promote that is writing adjacent, please do so. Just remember, if you do not have a blue wrench of power, you will not be able to post direct links. That being said, my self-promo is, if you are not subscribed, please consider it. That's all. Alrighty, let's get to the reminders then. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching. And 4, if you need a break for snacks, stretch, bio breaks, whatever it is, make sure you are taking care of yourself as you are writing. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That was the end of the second sprint. Don't forget, if you want to do some self-promo, pop that in the chat. I did a little bit of work in my journal. Not a whole lot, but by the time I turned my focus back to the editing, I had about 12 or 13 minutes. So I don't expect a huge number. Yeah, 546 edited. So that's where we're at. Save. And save again. Make sure I'm marking the last word so that I don't have the, oops, how much is this? Do I remember what I wrote last time? Anyway, Thog is feeling very frustrated, and for a good reason. Just got word that another coworker put in their 2 weeks notice. They're going to be transferring to another station. You have been on overtime because of a firing of a coworker since the 8th of November. You've had to cancel your vacation 3 times so far because of turnover. You are so tired, and there seems to be no end in sight. That is very frustrating. Unfortunately, Thog is in Alabama, which I think is a right-to-work state. Is that correct? Is Alabama a right-to-work state? Yes. So it bars unions and employers from agreeing to create or maintain union shops or agency shops through collective bargaining, which means that there's not a whole lot of extra worker protection going on. So yeah, frustrating. That's why you want to move to New Orleans, Louisiana so much, because the worker laws are stronger there. Yeah. Ashley said hello. Hello. Glad you're here. You were getting sleepy. You're trying not to fall asleep at your keyboard again. Oh no. Yeah, that is definitely a little difficult on certain days, for sure. So yeah. Let's see. I did ask Dog if there was, like, if you could transfer to the New Orleans area, or hoping to switch companies, but JK also came in. Dog said the closest transferable location is Baton Rouge, but that does not have the same protections as the New Orleans area, mainly because of the city laws, which sucks. The whole situation just sucks. Coffee Crate Connect. Hello. Hey all, how are you? You have company coming over, so you have to wrap up soon. You're at the place in the book that has you super emotional, and you hate to end things here. Oh no. But being an introverted writer, we do occasionally need to have a bit of social life. Yes. JK is doing revisions for Project Sugar and Spice. Nice. Yes, Thog is encouraging to do the socialistics. Go hang out with friends and have a lovely time. Yes. You're welcome. So Thog says, thanks for listening, everyone. It does help a bit knowing that someone cares. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that you can have a better work situation soon, whether that means you have to transfer or switch companies, or whatever it is you have to do. You need something that is going to allow you to take care of yourself. And while overtime money does help, if you're constantly doing it, it's going to wear down your health for sure. So hopefully you can get a break, even if you just have to take a couple of days off for like sick leave to get yourself a mental break. Rachel says, I hate you're going through that, Thog. We need better protections all over this country for things like that. Being taken advantage of sucks. Yeah. Monique says, what's currently on my mind is how I can differentiate two people who are neurodivergent. Well, it depends on what kind of neurodivergency you want, but even if they have the same type of neurodivergency, um, everybody has different symptoms. Everybody has different sort of like ways that they express things. Um, so it may just be that you need to spend some time on uh, YouTube, TikTok, social media, wherever, where some of the channels sort of that are being advocates for neurodivergency, for autism, for ADHD, for all the neurospicy, and see how some of them are representing themselves and some of their either like icks or issues or because I know for a lot of people it's like textures or like their safe foods or things like that. So it's just whether or not you prefer to be barefoot or not, like all kinds of different things. So Emma, or Diana as you're calling her, is neurodivergent, but her rival, the Jane Fairfax, is also neurodivergent. I think it just depends on what kind of neurodivergency you want to have in the story. Diamond says, I got to 500 words this time. Yay! But it's going well so far. Your character is in the middle of a heated argument with her ex-lover in high school. Ooh, nice. Drama. Diane says to Monique, does she continually reheat the same cup of coffee all day long because she forgot to put it in the microwave? And by the time she does get to come across it, it's cold. Rachel says, the hubs helped me make a word counter in Google Docs that you can share for Camp Nano. He overheard the problems and knows that I like to use the site for my word counts. Nice. Yes, Google Sheets. Yeah, the Excel. Excel, Google version of Excel, I should say. The concept you have so far is that Diana is more of the quote-unquote gifted kid, aka the more positive genius type of autistic. Whereas Jane could have more visible struggles. Okay. Okay. So again, you may want to focus on the types of autism that do well in academia versus the types that do not. And that may help you. Technician versus performer dynamic. Gotcha. Okay. Elizabeth says, hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. And Monique says, and the Harriet of your novel will also have ADHD. Lots of neurospices. JK says, oh, before I forget, if anyone's interested in supporting my writing, I have a coffee goal towards commissioning character art for my book, and here's the link for that. And Rachel's self-promo, in case you haven't joined yet, Rachel has a new Facebook group to goof off in, the Magic and Mischief group. So here's the link for that. JK says, same here with my project, Sugar and Spice. Lydia is autistic and Xavier has ADHD. So you've been doing research on both disabilities to portray them correctly. Monique says, maybe Jane could have OCD. Very relatable in terms of the microwavable cups. Yeah. Well, see, I don't bother to microwave it again anymore. I just drink cold. Like I am at the point where I am at the point where I no longer drink coffee hot anymore. I make it so that it is room temperature or slightly cooler, and then I drink it, and that's it. And I also have a tendency to chug it because teaching habits die hard, y'all. Because you have like 3 minutes to get it down in between classes. So I don't bother to heat it anymore. I think I have an ignored cup in there right now. I just tend to have a tendency to stack like 5 glasses up at once, like right up here. And like they'll all be empty at once. I'm like, oh, I need to go get another one. I just need to return them to the kitchen. And I also do the same thing on the dining table. So, hoards and stashes of things. Rachel says, I'm also adding something weekly for followers in Reams, Magical Mischief. And here's the link for the Reams stories for Rachel. JK says, I'm revising my bakery Rivals to Lover book as well. Rachel says, very relatable in terms of the microwave coffee. Yes. Diane says, for a moment there, I thought Monique was saying I was neurospicy. My first thought was, my people. So I think the cold cup of coffee group rather than necessarily spicy. But yes, it runs very strong in your family as well. So yeah. Rachel says, me and my ice cold coffee after sitting there and also being microwaved and cooling again. Oh, look, I made iced coffee. I don't even bother to put ice in it anymore because I know the ice is going to melt and then I'm just going to have to stir it in. So I literally just room temperature coffee. That is my jam. Ashley says, yay, just finished the book I'm editing for a client. Yay, excellent. Progress. And you also got your book back from your professional beta reader last night, and you're too afraid to open it. Oh, no. JK says, same here, but the difference is that your family isn't. You're autistic. Are you sure your family isn't, or they just haven't gotten diagnosed? The coffee relating is the my people comment. Yes. JK says, I do drink coffee once in a while, though. Yeah. Yeah. I don't bother making it hot anymore because usually, I mean, like I'll microwave the instant coffee to get the base hot. And then, but by the time I add the creamer, it's like, bearing in on room temperature anyway. So, Monique says, for the record, I am autistic. I originally diagnosed with Asperger's. Diane is going to be a commentary on how academia / Hollywood values geniuses / savants. Make cold brew. It's super easy. We tried this. But also I have a very low limit of how much caffeine I really should intake in a day. And cold brew is very, very, it tends to be highly concentrated and highly caffeinated. So, Diane says, my oldest granddaughter, 14, is level 1 on the spectrum, ADHD and OCD. ADHD is sprinkled all over the place with the others. You don't think they're neurodivergent. Okay. Maybe. I know that more and more people are finding out that their parents or relatives are also neurospicy and just never got diagnosed. So, Monique says, I didn't even know there were levels. Yes. Yeah, well, there. And I don't know as much as I should. I know that ADHD definitely runs in our family, but it's like nobody ever diagnoses it, but it's very obvious. More so on the guys front, but the girls, again, typical problem with ADHD girls, it's harder to find because a lot of times it goes on in your brain instead of outwardly, whereas the boys tend to have more outward expressions of ADHD. But yeah, no, we've got that. And then we also have recently diagnosed Ehlers-Danlos, which we also suspect that my oldest nephew has been presenting signs of that. Specifically like the hypermobility and the possibility of pain sensitivity and depression that go along with it. Fun times. We're also pretty sure that is the Ehlers-Danlos is from my dad's side of the family because the hypermobility has been from his side of the family for generations. So, you have 8 grandkids and more than half have some version of neurospicy. Yeah. Your primary care physician diagnosed you with ADHD, said I should go see a psych professional for a better idea of it, but never went. You're like, I've lived with it this long. Gotcha. Okay, so level 1 would be what was formerly called Asperger's, since Asperger was not a good guy. Um, yeah, I don't know that they're technically diagnosing anybody as Asperger's anymore. I think that is one of the terms that is falling by the wayside. CB says, I'm neurodivergent, but they don't know exactly how. It's not autism. You are querying ADD, but NHS won't budge because you're over 12 years old. Yeah, they don't like to do adult diagnoses, do they? ADHD and autism are typically more common in boys. They are typically more easy to diagnose in boys because, again, the traits tend to show up outwardly with males, or they express them outwardly often, whereas girls, a lot of time, the expressions of it are in your brain. So yeah, not necessarily. It just shows up differently in girls. Yeah. Your kid was diagnosed with Asperger's, but they changed that to a new terminology. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. I know it's 2:50. We're going to do another sprint because I need another sprint. I'm just going to scroll back the 30 minutes and we're going to do the 30-minute timer again and get another sprinty sprint. Let's see. Present, share screen. Already big, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. Mom Maggie, hello. Welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get going. So 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break or you need to go reheat that coffee again, make sure you do that. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Excellent. How'd we do? I'll save and mark my last word. How did we do? That one was a very good sprint. Okay. Okay. So I'm just under 3,000 for the day, which is excellent in terms of editing. It is good. Good. Save. So I've my spreadsheet says I've done 30,000 words this month, which means that instead of 2K a day, I'm sort of averaging almost 3K, which is nice. So, but yeah, I think that's right. So, good. Save it. Save it and make sure it doesn't get lost. How you doing? How did it go? That sprint or the stream as a whole? Rachel just sent off more reference materials for the artist who is making your dragon emotes, which is exciting. You have a gamer dragon, a D&D dragon, an angry dragon, a dragon drinking from a cup, a dragon eating popcorn, and a dragon in a hoodie. Cute. Jenna is sliding in after the day job. Welcome. High fives to the like button. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mom Maggie says to Rachel, your store sounds so cool. It does. It sounds very cool. But also, Rachel's day has gotten off track at this point. You haven't gotten even through an entire chapter, and you need an eyeball break before HK's sprints. Yes. So yes, Rachel designed one dragon and sent it to the artist who is much better than you, and he makes them into cute little emote dragons. Nice. The older versions of the designs will be there until July, and they are in your shop that you get to through Rachel's website. You also use them while streaming. Diane is excited to see Jenna. Diamond got to 700 words, but it's going good so far. A little hint, your character just found out she might have an older sister who does not know about her. Uh-oh. Paget did housework and a smack of edits. Did you smack the words onto the right place? CB has gotten 479 words today. Excellent. Good. Monique is making your list of characters for your new project. 479 words total for the day before the stream. Still good. Progress is good. Paget says thanks for these, Jules. You're welcome. HK, hello. Just had dinner and you're decluttering before you start writing. Thank you for the reminder. I do need to do our 5-minute cleanup sprint. Twists and turns are very welcome. Yes. Okay, let me pull up the tidy timer. All right. Present, share screen. And again, if your desk is tidy and neat, or your writing area is tidy and neat, and you just want to write for 5 minutes, feel free. Otherwise, just kind of keep us at the beginning of the week, get ourselves kind of a clean or cleaner slate to work with for the rest of the week. We're going to do a 5-minute tidy. So again, 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to drink or you have finished your drink. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 5 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I've cleared my desk, with the exception of my crochet hook, which I'm going to use a little bit later this evening. Um, so yeah, so I have this out because I still want to remind myself that we're going to be doing this evening. But yeah, everything else is much cleaner. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. HK loves the tidy timer. Excellent. CB was going to see how much she could write in 5 minutes. Rachel says, much needed. You got the whole desk wiped down and in better order. Excellent. I haven't wiped mine down. I probably should before I crochet again on it. But yeah, so 73 words. Excellent. Jenna says, thank you for that. You're welcome. Yeah, I've found that it's much more useful than I was like, yeah, well, maybe some people like this, but it's very helpful. So I'm excited about it. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for me. It is 3:33, so make a wish. But yeah, so I'm gonna go for a walk maybe. Appreciate the sun while it's out, and then I will come back and do some crochet and listening to an audiobook that I'm trying to finish. So, all right, y'all. Thank you very much. I will see y'all in the chats, and then I will also see you Wednesday and Friday. All right. Thank you again, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.